So let's press ahead. So when you start thinking about financial freedom, you've got to start thinking about ways of creating income that's over and above the level of your wages. Because by definition, whatever your wages are, you'll spend 116%. Now, we can start to claw back a bit of that, and the only way you're really going to claw back a bit of that is with a concerted effort, and the only way you're really going to do that is to really document just what you spend your money on over, let's say, a 30 or a 60-day period. And then start asking questions of whatever patterns you're actually looking at. Asking questions. Well, okay, if coffee is $50 a month, then can I do something with that? Can I change that or whatever? So, but we don't really know. We're not conscious of how much is actually being outlaid. So to make money over and above the level of your wages, it requires different skills to those of time and labour remuneration. But it doesn't require different skills to what you're already probably good at. The different skills I'm talking about is how do you actually take it from time and labour and now point it. And so what happens when you're lost? Don't we just go back to the familiar place? Okay, so there's no monkeys. It references what you want, not what you've always been getting. So here's a process that goes on, and that inability to change the meaning that you're giving a thought form, I'm going to refer to that as your signature thinking loop. So it's every bit as observable as your thumbprint is, and it's unique to you. So a signature is like your signature, you write it down, it's unique to you. We all have signatures. Some are flamboyant, some are just straight lines, all that sort of stuff. So what happens? Well, you're sitting in a class like this, and you're saying, or somebody else's class, and you're saying, look, I would really like to move forward. I would really like to experience more freedom. I'd really like to experience more happiness. I'd really like to experience more time. I'd really like to experience more lifestyle. I'd really like to experience more adventure. I'd really like to start improving my mind. I don't need money, but what I need is rich conversations going on in my head. I need rich conversations with people that want to talk about anything other than Collingwood winning the grand final. I want rich... Sorry, slips. I want to indulge with people who are moving forward, not people who are just cranking out their own pain story again. I want all of that. So I'm gonna go and move forward. And then you say, uh-oh, I'm in unfamiliar territory. My brain doesn't like this. There's some noise coming from my head called the monkey, and it's saying, warning, 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 this doesn't feel right. Habits of enterprise have the same structure as habits of consumption. Exactly the same structure. So the first thing for a habit is that we need a cue. Now, it's often when you're maybe a bit run down or something like that, or it's just it's just the wrong time, and you go and push somebody's button, they just light up like a Christmas tree. It could be a word, it could be an action, it could be a whatever. But as soon as that button's pushed, there's no stopping what's behind it. And what's behind it might last for a few weeks, it might last for a few months, it might last for a few days, I don't know. But there's going to be a cue. And as soon as that cue is triggered, as soon as I see that, has anybody ever walked past the fish and chip place and then smelt something and it's, oh gee, that's a good idea. Well, that smell is a deeply embedded cue. Does that make sense? And if you're like me, who, you know, good Catholic boy, grew up on fish and chips every Friday, so it's a deeply embedded cue. So as soon as the key, we automatically go into a routine. Now, what's at the end of that routine? A reward. Even though you might not recognize what's actually behind it as a reward. But see, if you weren't getting rewarded for it, you wouldn't be doing it. Even if the reward, logically, is negative. But see, the subconscious mind doesn't know good and bad. It doesn't know right or wrong. It doesn't know happy or sad. It just knows feeling. So, if feeling comes via way of drama, or it comes via way of happiness, does the subconscious program for feeling care? Nope, because all it registers is feeling. So even a negative response is seen as, yep, that was good. Oh, well, it's not good because that's a conscious thing. So basically there's a reward. Now, they're the three components of a habit. Once you've got those three components in place, you press Q, bingo, the rest just follows. So if we say, well, what's the Q for money for most people? Huh? Earn it, spend it, earn it, spend it, earn it. What's the routine? Spend it. What's the reward?
Instant gratification.
A feeling, instant gratification, a feeling. Is it about putting aside all your own beliefs and having a listen to where it's coming from? No, is the short answer. Now, I'm going to really try and shortcut something which is, you know, a longer lesson, of course. So if I have where I want to be, and I have my starting position. Now, at my starting position, I will have old feedback. I will have old feedback criteria. I've got to populate it. So what's in there? Chances are you've got a no bias. Chances are you've got right, wrong, good, bad, blah, 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 blah. So you've got to populate that box. You've got to make conscious what is actually unconscious at the moment. Now, that feedback criteria, whatever you populate that is only ever going to keep you stuck. So now we want a new feedback mechanism. So I don't care what beliefs are in there. I only care what's actually in here. So this is new. New feedback. And that feedback is designed to reference that. So what's in here? It's effective or ineffective. So you can have the feeling now, you can have the belief, now you're just going to ask a question. Is it effective or ineffective? Because you try and make it right, wrong, good or bad. If you try and focus on the old stuff, then you're not actually focusing on new stuff. So whatever the feeling is whatever the feeling is. You're not going to change the feeling. You can change the meaning of the feeling, but you can't stop the feeling. It's so hot-wired, it's like the cues are so powerful. But once they're triggered, now you have 0.02 of a second to say, will I go that way or that way? What criteria are you going to use? If you use your default criteria, you're going to go that way. If you actually want to go that way, you've got to have some cue, some supportive mechanism. So you've got to ask, if I go that way, will it effectively allow me to get here? Yes or no? If it's no, then I've got to go this way. But it's about being conscious enough to actually ask yourself the question, is this effective or ineffective, or whatever it is you've got up there? Is this a yes bias or a no bias? Is this a habit, or is this part of the creating of a new habit? Okay, let's stop for a cup of tea, shall we?